Welcome to the Springfield Museum of Art's audio guide. You are listening to Allyssa Pagan talk about her work converting the Hubble data into a pleasing composition.
I'm Allyssa Pagan. I work for Space Telescope Science Institute for the Office of Public Outreach. I'm a science visuals developer, or I take Hubble data and I translate that into an image. Hubble sends it to a satellite that sends it down to us, which then goes into our archive. And when it's in the archive, it actually goes through this pipeline, which calibrates the data even before we look at it. So when we get the data, it's usually this clean version in different filters. And how you do that is Hubble, or JWST in this case too, will take multiple observations, and then you take those images in each filter and you stack them. You take the median value so that you can actually get just the signal as much as possible. And we have to do something called stretching the data. And that's because, again, Hubble starts off in black and white, and Hubble is far more sensitive than our eyes. So what you actually see is just a very black image with a couple of really white spots where the stars are. And that's the first step. And we have to do that in all the filters just to even see what's even happening there. And then once you have a good stretch, you can then start assigning colors based off of the filter or the wavelength. So each of these filters kind of correspond to wavelengths on the spectrum that correspond to a certain color. So that's how we composite the image together. And during this time, we are also going to have to remove artifacts that still remain, because even after we do the pipeline, there's still some things that are not quite completely gone. And then this is really where the more artistic, sort of subjective part comes in, because before it's really about preserving that data and making sure we're not altering it in such a way where we're losing any data. And now it's really about presenting it in such a way that's enhancing the science, but also is just very interesting and compositionally follows like the artistic principles. So we want to make sure it's color balanced. We want to make the composition to feel good. We don't want it to feel too static. We don't want it to feel unbalanced. And so we take those common principles you'd see like in any artwork, where that's color, tonality, and composition, and we make sure that that's very interesting for someone to look at. So we want to make them beautiful and accurate at the same time,